The Purge Anarchy is the second Purge film. This was released in 2014. It's written and directed by James DeMonaco, and I thought this was even worse than the first film. I didn't like the first film. It seemed like the second film was better, at least in some people's opinions. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a go. Maybe I'll like it more. I liked it less. It's just noisy and chaotic without any real structure. I don't think it's a good narrative at all. So I don't have that much to say about it, other than I most certainly do not recommend it. As with the first film, this is about the Purge, which is one night a year where crime is not a crime, where you can murder somebody and you're not going to go to prison. You can commit any crime you want and there are not going to be any legal repercussions. And there are so many things that they could do with this narrative. And I found the first film to be, I'm not going to compare it too much, but I found the first film to just be tremendously boring, a huge disappointment, not interesting at all. But I thought maybe the second film will give us more examples of things that people are doing. And it does. It's not just focusing on this one location. We travel more of a distance, and that is something that I think was an improvement. However, the actual narrative or little pockets of narratives are really dull. Yes, we have different characters, narratives intertwining. I think that was an improvement on the first film. But aside from that, I found that it was just really dull. And the only thing that was potentially interesting is that we don't know which characters to trust. We meet characters who say they're not purging, but are they purging? Is this something that they're lying about? I'm not going to give away any of the answers there. But there was obviously that tiny mystery element. But beyond that, it was just very boring, very loud as well. And to be fair, I kind of expected that. I imagine the Purge would be a very loud event, but that seemed to just be almost like a distraction from the fact that the actual events within the narrative were really, really boring. I didn't like it. I will not be watching the third one. Maybe one day, years down the line, I will give the third one a go. But I just thought this, again, was a huge disappointment. There are so many things they could have done with this, and I just think, once again, they didn't take the right direction. The Purge Anarchy is not a film that I enjoyed. I don't think the narrative is very interesting. I didn't care for any of the characters, which I think is something, if they're not going to be creative, and I don't think it's very creative. I think, as I said, there are many things they could do with the Purge. I don't think it's creative enough. I don't think it's fascinating enough. Maybe it's realistic, I don't know, but I don't think it's fascinating. That means we have to rely on interesting characters so we can follow their journeys. The characters are not interesting either. The Purge Anarchy, for me at least, is not a good film, and I doubt I will ever watch the third one.